Hey, what's up guys? So today we're going to be showcasing off the Dogmatikas, aka the Dragmas. So this is a new archetype that is definitely going to be seeing a lot of play as it's already doing quite well in the OCG. It's kind of a archetype that can be splashed into other things, and it can kind of work on its own as a more anti-meta deck, but to really get a lot of value right now, a lot of people are playing the Invoked variant, so shout out to you, Say Fuda, for hooking me up with some gameplay, showcasing off Invoked Dogmatikas over here. And this is up against Dinos. We'll showcase against a lot of different archetypes here, but I think the Dinosaurs is a really good showcase of on the matchup because while they are kind of a anti-meta deck at the end of the day, Dinosaurs don't really care too much about the extra deck, which is one of the matchups that I would say might not be super favorable for the Dogmatikas. Not that it's impossible, it's just that Dogmatikas are really anti-extra deck cards. The Macabre is going to go ahead and stop that. But there are also ways to go ahead and be more reactive during your opponent's turn, like with the Fleur-de-Lis Knights hit over here, being able to go ahead and negate a monstrous effect. Going to go into quick effect and then special summon it instantly once monster special summon from the extra deck is on the field, which is quite great. And if you control another Dogmatika, you can negate the effects of that monster, which is quite great. And then they also have some other bonus stats on some of the monsters. The extra damage isn't like the most insane. It's mostly just for the ability to kind of have another presence on the board and then also start deleting stuff out of your extra deck so you can even summon the cards and kind of see the interactions. Again, I'm going to go ahead and go through a lot of different plays here. I'm going to showcase off one more up against Dinos over here, as Dinosaurs are quite popular, and they have been quite popular for quite some time, and nothing's really looking like they're going to be stopped anytime soon. But he's got that Dark Ruler no more. Now, this deck isn't super focused in on negating. Obviously, with the Invoked, you're able to go ahead and negate, you know, an additional whatever card you might need to negate. So it really helps kind of well round the deck. We also see the Shadal card over here. So it lets you fusion summon one Shadal monster from your extra deck by banishing the fusion materials listed on it from your field or graveyard. It can't attack directly, but you're going to be able to get a lot of stuff from the graveyard kind of for free. So that's how you can make great use of this one random like card tech. But it's pretty powerful, as Dinosaurs definitely need to summon more than you know, once with the special summon effects to really get any sort of value over here. So you can still play the deck in a sense where you are shutting your opponent down, but not by like a bunch of negates, but it's kind of like blocking them, kind of locking them out of what they can potentially do. So he's going to go ahead and have the Overtext Coatlas, but this is going to go ahead and be stopped by that Young Impermanence. Should have Dark Ruler, no more first Kappa, but he still is able to go ahead and get a Conductor Tyranno, losing out the entire board. But this deck is relatively resilient with some of the free pluses that you'll get. The deck takes a little bit to get started. It's not going to be a deck that goes through like 50 cards turn one, as some archetypes definitely can do that, but he's going to go ahead and stop that. But that's going to go get negated by the Macabre, getting rid of the UTC, and he's going to go ahead and be able to attack right over that with that bonus extra attack that Alistair allows. And this is technically continuous over here, which is quite great, but it's pretty much over for our poor Dino player over here, as he doesn't really have too much. One player sitting there with the Dark Ruler no more, and he's going to have that Dark Ruler no more, and then followed up with the Lightning Storm, and he's going to go ahead and unfortunately still lose out on it, but it does technically throw it in the graveyard for extra disrespect over here, and then he's going to be able to, whatever monster will be able to go and make a game. But you can see, like I said before, the deck is resilient in the fact that you can kind of come back. As long as the boards are kind of, you know, on fair grounds, you can kind of get some resources back, as some of the cards that you want to have something out of the graveyard to banish to go ahead and then like special summon this card. And this is one of like their powerful monsters over here. Being able to send two monsters with different names from your extra deck to the graveyard, then your opponent sends two monsters from their extra deck to the graveyard. Again, with the Dinosaur matchup, it's not that big of a deal, but some archetypes, they need like every single one of their cards, especially if you start getting this effect multiple times. Some decks can just kind of lose out on the resources. But let me go and show you guys a variety of different duels. Here's it up against Emancipator over here, which is still quite a popular deck. This guy playing the Alpha, Beta, Gamma variant, which can be some extra cheesy plays here. But he's going to go ahead and activate a Meltdown. That was trying to get stopped by the Ash Blossom, but it was stopped by the Called. Now, I know this card, well, this card is technically out, but of course the card that normally you would be using this card for is not out, but a lot of the gameplays will show it without specifically using that, as that card is kind of insane. And that card can instantly win a duel, but we didn't make it turn 1 over here. No Predator Plant. But once that card comes out, this will definitely see some play, as in the OCG. I mean, that... Yeah, out of Emancipator, definitely not doing too much. This one is kind of more of a blowout. Obviously, the guy didn't really get too much of a chance. That's just how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is sometimes. But this time, the player is going first. He's going to go ahead and be able to have some extra negations. He's got the Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode to follow up the plays. That's going to get stopped by the Impermanence, and it's going to go right into the Sound Great. And that is actually going to get stopped by the Called by the Grave, the Quackimura Guardian, so rip that. And look at how many times this guy is getting stopped, but we're still going through. Invocation is also activated, so Wakaba and the Vertex Anaconda is out. But again, remember, he still has the Sphere mode. Real question is, will he make it the next turn, Kappa? So he's going to go ahead and take a massive amount of damage over here, and that's gonna be game, man. No chance. He was really hoping to get that effect, and I don't blame him. He's probably like, oh my gosh, he got sacked. But that's just simply how that goes. Now, let's go ahead and check it up against Galaxy Eyes, as this is a deck that sees a little bit of play once in a while. And if the deck does kind of pop off sometimes, you can definitely make use out of some plays. But there's Secure Guard over here, being able to use that as a stepping stone, and then we have the effect of, oh gosh, everything is like so fast over here. Being able to add that Shadal card is quite great. Again, that's making great use out of the Dragma archetype. Being able to go ahead and send 2 of them is very powerful. I mean, remember Gale Dogger, we had to pay so much life points to try to get that effect off, and we basically have a much better way to kind of start getting stuff out of the extra deck, just right into the graveyard to banish or make place out of that Shadal Schism over here. Fantastic card. And this card, once this card comes out, it's usually game over, and in fact, you can also use the Elder Entity in Chest to also pop your opponent's stuff over here. So the deck, it's not super oppressive. I mean, I know Wind at the end of the day is kind of oppressive and doesn't let your opponent play, but with the new Master Rule, this makes this deck even better, because even though it's not like an extra deck base deck, it still benefits a lot off of it. So he's going to go ahead and get stopped by that Ash Blossom over here. And let's see if we can go ahead and see an OTK play over here, as his opponent is going to go ahead and be kind of stunned here. But he's still got that Galaxy Zero cap. Let's see if it's going to be anywhere near useful for this. So again, in chest over here, able to go ahead and get some damage in. And remember, you can boost up the attack, and that's the whole reason why I wanted to show off this one over here, is just to show that you can push for quite a bit of damage, even though that one can look basically like the first duel over here. Very good stuff. Now, I want to go to show you guys it up against the Infernal Knights, as this is definitely going to be a deck that will be seeing tons of play, as the cards just recently came out. We had them in Toon Chaos and Rise of the Duelist. But anyways, Rhoda activated, and like, this is a play where we didn't get to pop off, you know, turn 1. We didn't get to go ahead and make that Shadal window, which I still think is a very, very powerful play. In fact, that card is just insane in general against most decks. If that card doesn't get stopped, you basically just lose for some matchups. But in this instance, we have the Aurora Dawn, going to have also the Death Spot engine here. So it's as meta as it gets with some of the combo link plays. So Lion also going to be coming out. Then more than likely, Savage Dragon going to go ahead and say hello as well. And then follow up with maybe an extra negate with the Arc Light. So he's going to go ahead and attack. But remember, I told you guys that this deck was an anti-meta deck at the end of the day. At least the way it was designed. Anti-meta extra deck. And this card can't be destroyed by battle with a monster that is special from the extract. We're going to go ahead and see the Dark Ruler no more activated, so he's not going to be able to go ahead and stop any of the plays that are going to be coming out over here with no hand traps. He's got the God Phoenix Gear Free to follow up maybe next turn if he can survive, but with Dark Ruler no more than likely he will be surviving, but no damage this turn. But being able to board wipe is still quite nice with just basically one card. So he's going to go ahead and heal up for a little bit, but remember, he still has the extra negate over here. We're not getting that effect, but that's going to go ahead and get stopped. The Gear Free is there to go ahead and say hello as well, and he's going to go ahead and equip it to the God Gear Free, and he's going to go ahead and Snatch Steal, losing out on this. How is he going to come back with the top deck of Called by the Grave? I don't know, mate. It looks like this one's going to be all ogre for him. So you can see over here, not everyone's going to be a win. I kind of want to go and give you guys some variety so you can see like kind of what caused him to lose. He definitely was coming back from that play, but he just didn't happen to have enough cards. But this one we got the full set of game 1, 2, and 3. So with the Flame Noble Knights, or Infernal Knights is what I should call them, because that's also a different way to play the Noble Knights. But yeah, we have the Ignoble Knights, the Noble Knights, and the Flame Noble Knights. But anyways, to really do a lot of work against this deck, because now we're going first to show you guys what you can do to kind of shut down your opponent, is you can make the double Macabre play and then go true King of all calamities, and on top of that, he doesn't even need this at this point, because this deck cannot really function off of just simply one summon. So if you go ahead and, well, you're negating all the monster effects anyways, who cares what they go ahead and summon. But once again, that ability to fusion summon, he's going to go ahead and get rid of that Shadal, so unfortunately no good targets with that, but he's going to go ahead and make the Vertex Conda. Go ahead, and you guys already know the drill. This card is going to be able to shut down basically game. And in this instance, he does have O-Line, get that extra token out there. He's going to go ahead and blank that token, get it out of the way. I'm still surprised that this monster can attack during the same turn. It hits them for so dang much. Now, this doesn't really matter over here. He's just being salty and banishing it for no reason. But he's still going to be taking game 2. And game 3, we'll go ahead and see how this plays out. You can see everyone just mash into the Nibiru's, dude. Don't let your opponent set up the boards. But remember, he's going to have to go second this time, because Infernal Knights, they are definitely the deck that wants to go ahead and go first. So we'll check it out from the perspective of the Dogmatika or Dragmas. But Roar Dart, once again, bread and butter combo, going to that, going to O-Lion. Despot coming out as well. Nibiru gonna go ahead and be summoned, so he's gonna lose out on his entire board, and this is gonna be pretty deadly over here. But he's also got the Durendal to go ahead and be able to equip, so he still has a little bit of negation over here with this effect. And he's also got a Nibiru himself, so don't sign him out yet. Although I want to say the Dogmatika archetype definitely does not need a special summon that many times. He's gonna go ahead and stop the Alistair. The big rock guy gonna go ahead and attack over him. His rock. So this guy draws into another big rock, and then there can only be one is indeed activated, so he's only going to have one, but he loses out again to that Snatch Steal ability. So he's going to go ahead and follow up with another Magical Meltdown. Going to go ahead and switch out another Alistair. This is going to go ahead and stop Alistair, but it does get destroyed. So his board is going to unfortunately blank over here. He's going to go ahead and take 3,000 to the face, but since there was only one of these, going to be able to kind of stall out a little bit with this, as he's going to lose out on some of the resources. But now Invocation is going to be coming out. Going to go ahead and go for that Wakaba, adding back the Alistair, so he's going to finally get over that Immortal Phoenix Gear Free that was just getting a lot of value. But again, he was able to basically start with Alistair, which you can do sometimes. You can go ahead and stop the Sublimation Knight. And he's got double Nibiru, which is pretty much at this point, I would say it's dead against Dogmatika. Oh, I keep on wanting to say Dragmas here. That's going to be another card that he's not going to be able to make too great use of. Unfortunately, cannot stop that play, so this is going to go ahead and be able to start equipping. He's got a Call by the Grave to follow up, but this is just going to be the Macabre beatdown, and he's got that extra control over here. And there's no point of us having really two of these. A lot of times, in fact, most people aren't even playing back row destruction here. I've seen a lot of people do Galaxy Cyclone. Sometimes people are even playing Twin Twisters now, more so in the side deck. But again, back row is not something that every deck is ready to deal with. So this could be a great card to go into maybe game 2 and 3s for a lot of different things. Great card. Sometimes even Summon Limit still sees some play as well, as a lot of different archetypes do need to go ahead and summon quite a bit of times. But there's the Cosmic Cyclone. And Cosmic and Galaxy still see a little bit of play. More so Cosmic, because getting that banish effect against Eldritch End Phase, it could be quite nice, so they can't really set up for future plays as easy. But he's going to go ahead and just banish that Gearfried. But unfortunate for him, he's going to go ahead and set Squeak Knight. But in terms of grind games, Invoke does a really good job at doing longer pace games. But it definitely shows you guys the deck can OTK. It can play a little bit slower, as this one is. And this guy kind of has 2 dead cards at this point. But, you know, you got to play 3 of them sometimes. I don't think I would have side decked multiple Nibiru's. I think from what he saw that first turn where he made like VFD, True King of all calamities, and just being able to be like super oppressive, he was like, I gotta slam 3 of these. And I would probably suggest you guys not to main deck, or I guess I should say side deck 3 copies against Dragma, because they don't really need to go for it. I mean, it depends on the variant. Some variants you can go ahead and check that out. But here's a matchup against Datascapes. It's one of the newer archetypes that I feel like it's not really going to be taking off, but I want to show you guys this one in particular because he's also playing Forbidden Droplet, which a lot of people are technically playing right now because, well, no one really likes getting Numeron locked out of the game. In fact, I tried to specifically not cover Numerons for a little bit, as I have another video planned very soon over here. But I will show you guys this matchup, because this one's going to be one of those games where it will be a little bit slower, not one person popping off, negating every single thing that the other player does. Not, again, that this deck does it too much, but Winda can do that. Obviously, VFD is like that as well. But I'll go and give you guys the deck profile for this deck as well. So he's going to go ahead and activate the Kinlong, but that's going to go ahead and get stopped. So, unfortunately, no more Datascape card for him. And he's going to go ahead and have to work off just that Alistair. And he's got the Disciple, which lets you send a monster from your extract to the graveyard, then add a Dogmatika monster. So not only does this let you send in chest to pop one card, which obviously if you're playing a slower game, being able to pop one, add another card, this card going to have that effect to go ahead and add another card. When it's normal or spell summon, you get to add a Dogmatika card from your deck to your hand, which usually is going to be Maximus, which lets you go ahead and send double cards. And then obviously with that, you guys already know the amount of pluses that you can get with this deck is quite great. In fact, you can use this in a lot of different variants of the deck. I've seen people run it in rituals. It's again just to get the Herald. More cards, more searches, great stuff indeed. Also, again, it's the setup for your graveyard, for the Shaddoll plays, or of course just for more fuel for the ability to go and banish the extra deck cards to get started. But he's going to go ahead and have to defense up. But since the Datascapes is primarily an extra deck based deck, he's going to be able to kind of keep himself up because the Dogmatika Excelsia is going to be able to prevent themselves from being destroyed from a battle. And the Vertex on coming out, and Makaba, and the guy's like, alright, you got me, mate. So I like the deck. I think the deck is quite great in terms of like gameplay and the playstyle. But anyways, let me go and give you guys the deck profile. I know that we technically have this 3-card engine that is, well, these cards are technically out, but the card that you want to go for is not out. So if you guys want to go ahead and make some suggestions, you guys can let me know down below what else you guys would go ahead and swap these for. These are other great options. I mean, heck, evenly matched. A lot of people are actually playing D-Barrier now. It's quite a great card. Obviously, it locks them out of the entire turn. And since this deck doesn't really need to go ahead and start throwing multiple cards in the extra deck, like, I've even seen people go ahead and do the banish, oh gosh, what is it called? They keep on changing. It's that card that Gren Maju plays, that banish extra deck. I forgot what the exact name is. Let me see if I can find it. Let me go back to my Gren Maju deck over here. As I think that it's just so good. Gosh, okay, where's Giga Gren Maju? Oh, they changed the name of the card too. Anyways, I don't remember what they changed the name of the card to, but going back into this, Giga Gren Maju, we want to go back into the Invoked over here. The Invoked Dragma. But I'll write it down in the comment section below, because again, I don't know what they've changed the name to, if they changed the name. But it's the one that banishes like as many cards as you want from the extra deck. Now, I do want to go ahead and mention that, keep in mind, this deck, it still can use the extra deck, and you don't get those back. But it's the same concept as D-Barrier. Like, you basically, in this deck, you might be able to throw like 2 or 3 into the grave. But if you go ahead and let's say you go for that one Makaba, and like maybe like a window, or just like maybe an chest too, like you'll use maybe like 3 cards realistically out of this. Yeah, you can definitely go for this, but I'm saying if you're not playing the engine with the Dragon of Red Eyes, what you can do is basically lock them out for 1 turn, and if you lock someone out for 1 turn, being able to go ahead and have Maximus and then boost up the attack, you can game them. It might be kind of considered cheesy, but I have seen people do it in Dragma, so I wanted to mention it because I didn't get to go over it during the gameplay, because Yusei didn't run it. But yo, shoutouts to him for building this deck. But let's go ahead and I'll mouse over the cards. I'll include the YDK as a download file, but just want to go ahead and mention that as a heads up if you guys want to go ahead and play something right now. As again, you will technically, like I said, you can play these 3 cards, but there's no point because this is the card you want to make with it. But I'll mouse over all of the extra deck cards, and this is what looks like to be his actual side deck. Other great cards, if you guys want to go ahead and throw in like DD Crow, obviously against Eldritch, and you know, any variants of the Synchrons. Great card indeed. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you guys are new here, Subscribe, turn on the bell so you don't miss out on more new Yu-Gi-Oh! Gameplays and deck profiles. And if you guys want to see any replays of any other Dragma, or I keep calling Dragma, but it's Dogmatika. I like the name Dragmas better. Let me know, guys, what you think of the name change. You guys like Dragmas or you guys like the Dogmatika? Let me know down below. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one, and I'm out. Peace.